Chapter 12 is focused on parole and prisoner reentry. And um, parole is something that didn't always exist. You will learn about the history of parole. And of course, there are some people, even today, who don't always support people getting parole. There are some people who think that people should serve their whole sentence rather than getting um, their sentences reduced because they have served time with good behavior. On the other hand, there are many people who think, well, if someone is showing they're rehabilitating themselves and they've made some major changes, then of course they deserve to have some time knocked off of their sentences so they can go back into the community and reintegrate. So as you study this chapter, I hope you think about which side of that argument you are on. Of course, recidivism, recidivism is very high in the United States. And it should not be a surprise that whether someone is paroled or someone serves their full sentence, recidivism is often going to occur. So, what are some of the issues with parolees re-entering society? You will study some of these, but you'll also study what are some successful programs that do help people re-enter society and do so fairly successfully. In fact, sometimes more successfully than you might imagine. For example, I have met a lawyer in California. He's a member of the California State Bar. He served time in prison. When he was a teenager, he and his brother were involved in a gang shooting. He was driving the car. His brother shot and killed someone. And he did not know his brother was going to commit the drive-by. So he told me. That is his story. However, because he was an accessory, he was driving the car, people didn't believe that, and he was convicted and he served time in prison. And while he was in prison, he was in San Quentin, there was a prison education project there. He started taking classes, community college classes, and he found that he liked learning. When he got out a little earlier than his sentence required because of good behavior. He enrolled at a community college and continued his education and subsequently went to law school, graduated, and took the bar exam and passed it. And this California State Bar is changing. I know of a handful of lawyers younger than myself because they have the bar examiners were not quite so understanding, say 40 years ago. But younger attorneys, there are a growing number of them who, again, when I say growing, I don't mean like a whole bunch, but a handful, slowly the bar is allowing people who have rehabilitated themselves, who've attended school, completed law school, and passed the bar exam. And so that's one example of a program in prisons that can be successful. Is it for everyone? No, and I'm not arguing that it would be successful for everyone, but it's an option. It's better than doing nothing. At least that's my thought. But as you study this chapter, I hope you will consider where you fall in the spectrum of reentry, what kinds of programs to offer while someone's in prison, and then when someone is paroled, what kind of programs to offer, etc. And if you are thinking perhaps of a career in corrections, I hope you think about what kind of parole officer you might be if you decide to become one. You also have to take the second midterm. I know you just took the first one a couple weeks ago. This is an 8-week course, and so yes, the second midterm you must take. There is a study guide and, of course, a midterm overview in the module.